Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Here is a compilation of a bunch of the Kenneka Jenkins videos. There's so many of them, it's hard to pick ones, but I picked some of the ones that had the most views, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it, hanging out with all the freaks. And if you're so inclined and you want to help support my channel, you can help by buying me a coffee or sending super chats, etc. And if you can't do that, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And share my videos. Alright, so let's get started on the Kenneka Jenkins videos right now. Hello, this is Grant Hughes again. I hope you enjoyed the new intro. It's about 7 seconds shorter than the last iteration that I put out on YouTube yesterday. I appreciate all the help that my subscribers and friends on YouTube helped with. They had some good ideas. I shortened it up a little bit. Unfortunately, everyone seemed to like a different song, and some people like the non-black and white version and so forth. So at some point I have to just decide on what I like the best, and what you just saw was the one that I liked the best. So anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody for helping out there. That was cool. Alright, so let's get started. What I thought I would do right now is play the whole walkthrough animation again from start to finish and not really stop it, because I think the one I put out before, I stop it a lot. I might stop it a couple times, but in general, just kind of let it play. Maybe this first part, this is a really slow camera turn here, so I'll get it moving anyways. But let's get. I actually did add another part in too, so it's right there, and then I added some stuff at the end. So this is the Rosemont police investigation, what they believe is the path that Kenneka took, and it makes sense, other than the famous Mike Mecca location where it's possible she took the freight elevator up to the upper kitchen. Alright, so let's get started. Here's room 926 right there. Okay, Kenneka's out in the hall, is left in the hall, and she gets on this elevator right here. Okay, and that's where we will pick it up. So she gets on that elevator. She comes out on the lower level. It's called the Pass elevator. Again, very intoxicated. This time up here in the upper right hand corner is the system time, and it syncs up all the cameras. You can just, like right now when Kenneka walks by this area right here, had she taken a left right there, she would be right up in the lobby. Right now, if she'd taken a left, she'd be up in the lobby. She'd have to go up 2 stairs and be in the lobby. And you could just cut over to the lobby camera and you'd see her coming up. It's that accurate. Okay, right there she was using the wall to hold herself up. Okay. But I mean, she does move relatively quickly, not as quick as somebody obviously not intoxicated could walk, but she seems really like sort of disoriented, off balance a little bit. But as you can see in the later on when she's in the bathroom footage, near the bathroom, it's called lower level bathroom, she does use a rail to keep herself up, which is the same, there's rails in the stairs that lead up to the upper kitchen. All right, so here's Kenneka. She's now at the end of this long hall after she took that left. And now she's heading to the, I'm using Antoine M's video for that part. This is from Rosemont, this clip. So she goes through those same double doors, and then Antoine M's video. So after she goes through those double doors, she actually goes through another set of double doors and goes straight into this lower level kitchen. Okay, now apparently there's kitchen 2 sort of off to the left of the screen right there that Kenneka went in, and we see her on surveillance camera just for a brief moment on a camera that's in kitchen 2, and that's right here, kitchen 2. So you'll see her walk by, and then you'll see her in the lower level kitchen, just the top of her head right down here in this corner right there. And then she goes out. There's a little side exit from there. Okay. And she comes out. She went out and took a left and then heads straight out, and this is where the lower level bathroom area is. Okay, so she first goes in there, and then we'll cut to the surveillance footage. Alright, now you'll note there are some time jumps in here. Every time you see the red box go off, you have to start counting 8 seconds or 9 seconds again. Okay, because that's when it starts over. Okay, right there, now it's 9 more seconds. Okay, 9 more seconds. That's the buffer. Okay, so if she leaves for more than 9 seconds, so she left at 31, let's see, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Oh, that's because she came back out and that started up another buffer. Yeah, there you go. See right there? If you counted back, that was exactly, it was 20 seconds. So she came back out and the red box came back on. That's because when we didn't really lose any time at all, because she happened to come back and be picked up exactly 20 seconds later. So she got the end of one buffer and the front end of the next buffer. All right, so right there she went off camera. I didn't catch when the red box was on. Let's see what time that is. Hold on. I am going to reverse this a little bit. Let's see. All right, so she's right there. Let's see, right when she comes out of the bathroom. Let's see if it picks her up. So 3:30, 35, 30. Okay, right there, 36. It got her, but now it's not picking her motion up because it's so slight. So 3:36. Now you'll notice it should 36. Okay, so she'll probably be coming out here again. Another 20-second one. Yep, right there. It was exactly 20 seconds again. That's amazing. Yeah, so she got the end of one buffer and the beginning of the next buffer. Now she's picked up on surveillance, and then her foot is picked up on motion, I mean. And then her feet were picked up on, that's how you got the next box. And then she goes back through these double doors, the same one she went in a couple minutes prior. And she walks by. Now this is where there's no surveillance camera. This one up here, if it's a real surveillance camera, is not working. It's possible it's a dummy camera, but you know, that's just wild speculation. So this camera wasn't working right here, and she takes a left right here, and I think I fixed it. Okay, now you can see the door. On my previous one you couldn't see it, but she heads right towards those doors. Okay, then she heads up the stairs. Alright, and here's an overlay using the Rosemont footage. Then she goes in through the first set of double doors, and then you'll see her come through the wooden set of double doors that lead right into the upper kitchen. Some people call it the kosher kitchen. And then she walks by the camera. Okay, and right here, she walks back in this area. I think she went back to that other cooler first. Okay, then she came back to this area. This isn't going to have any animation, but this is just going to show people that aren't familiar with this. So after looking in that other cooler, she opens up this door right here. Okay, so just pretend that's Kenneka's hand right there. Right, and then it opens, and then there's another footage where there's actually looks like motion going into the actual cooler area. So that's what this is, where that box is. That's in the cooler. Okay, now it's looking back out the door she came, and inside that cooler is the freezer door, which is right there. So as soon as you come in, you just take a quick left, and you're right there at the freezer door. And here's the freezer door. And I think this video shows the freezer door actually opening. So this is what Kenneka would be doing. You know, right here. She'd be opening up the freezer door in the dark. So we're looking at something that looks really bright because the lights are on. The lights were not on when Kenneka was in there. So it was really dark. I mean, it might have been pitch black. I don't know if there's any sort of, you know, lights that are just on in there that make it really dim or something, but the lights were not on when she was in there. Okay, now this is where I'm going to pause it once. Now you see these icicles right here? So those would only be forming, and they would have been forming while the freezer was on and very cold in there. So that means liquid is in there. Okay, dripping down and freezing and making an icicle. Okay, so this is perhaps some of the water that might have got on Kenneka when she was in there, on her hair. And that might be why her hair is frizzy. It could also be condensation. Alright, so this is inside the freezer. And she was right there in that corner. Her head was. And this is what it would be like, but that light would not be on right there. It was completely dark. All right, finally some new footage. I guess on Periscope, they've just put out a lot of footage. It looks like they're analyzing some of it live right now, and then they keep putting out chunks. There is some new footage of Kenneka walking alone again. So let's just watch it. Looks like let me try to get this to play here. I'm not sure why it's not playing. Alright, so here's Kenneka walking alone, and if you note up here, it's 3:26 and then a little different time on that system. I'm not sure what this is over here compared to this, but it looks like this is the actual time that's encoded on the camera, or, you know, I'm not even going to speculate on that, but let's just use one of them as a reference. So 3:26, she's walking down the hall, motion sensors set off, and then as she gets farther away, like I said in one of my other videos, they're also distance activated. So anything past a certain distance, it won't. See right there, she just disappeared because the camera turned off, and then it skipped right to 4:32, which is, you know, a little over an hour later, and some other guy is walking by. So this guy has nothing to do with Kenneka. All right, he walked by an hour and 6 minutes later. All right, and now let's see what else we got here. I guess that's the same footage. She's just walking down the hallway, and now here's the best part, though. You know, so here's the guy in blue that everybody said, and that's the hood. Well, look at him. He's still standing still. Even though there's a guy in the video doing some work, he's just standing really still there. He's not moving, right? And remember this big guy here with a black shirt and his arm? Okay, he's still standing there. Same position and everything. Doesn't that seem crazy? So we know for sure right now that this blue item there is not anybody. It's just items on the wall. It's incredible. Okay, here's some more footage of Kenneka just totally, absolutely obliterated. You know, walking the halls. You know, so that's at 2:32. Somebody's running by. Okay, and you can see that now an hour later, on this timestamp, Kenneka's completely intoxicated. You know, kind of just woo. She's bang. She keeps banging against walls, barely being able to be kept up. Now, if you notice here, she looks whiter. All right, and that's because the person who's making these videos isn't doing a very good job of it. Okay, and I'm going to show you here in just a second. But before we do that, let me show you some more in the kitchen. So here we are in the kitchen, and that same little blue area is right behind this item, but it's not moving. It's just, you got to admit, that's the craziest thing you guys have ever heard. I will admit, though, that I was wrong about one thing. This area right here is glass. Okay, this right here isn't, and this isn't. But this little area right there is glass, and you'll be able to see right here. Now look inside there. There's something moving. Okay, and I'm going to hit play, and watch here in a second. Through this window right there, you'll be able to see somebody get up, and they walk by, and they go behind whatever this is. So I was wrong on that. There is a window right there. I'm not sure if it's actually glass or if that's actually just an opening, because you can't see any reflections of anybody. Like even right here, when that person walks by, it doesn't appear that there's a reflection. So it might just be an opening there. But this definitely isn't a person, and that's not a person in blue right there. Okay, does everyone get that now? All right, now this is what's going on with some of the images and why they're fat. Look what's going on here. The person gets it originally, and it looks right, but then they try to make it bigger to fit the screen, and they squeezed it out to the right, and then they keep adjusting it, and you'll see, and they don't quite get it back even to where it was supposed to be normally. They're trying to get it to fit their their screen capture system. So it scrunches everything down, makes everything look fatter and shorter. All right? So hopefully this cleared up some more of the mess. Oh, and look at that guy just walked by, and this person in the blue did not move. Can you believe that? Jeez, the guy in the blue didn't move again. He's just standing right behind there. Oh, man, he must be the greatest actor in the history of the world. All right, so this clears up some more, and quit the nonsense out there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hello, this is Grant Hughes again, doing another debunking video on the Kenneka Jenkins case. Unfortunately. However, there are many people who think there is a body in this plastic bag right here, and I'd like to set those minds at ease. So, let's get started. Okay, there's a video out right now showing this plastic bag and some movement in it. And when you look at it, you think, that's kind of weird, right? But it's not weird, okay? And I don't know if the person making the video is intentionally trying to deceive people or what, okay? I won't make that judgment, okay? But what I'm going to say is, I mean, again, we've got the handheld camera, no time code, everything's moving around. And if you look at it, I mean, it is mildly interesting. You see something moving. Right around, and let's see if I can get to the spot. Yes, so you see how there's a change in the towels too there, and right after that, you start seeing this weird puffiness, and she, goes back and forth with the. You see that right there, almost like a pulsating puff in there, and you think, oh wow, that's weird. That's weird. Okay, but let's actually show you what's really going on here. Okay. And here's a much clearer video, and I have the time code up here. All right, so here's what's happening. There's a guy who drops off a bag of, could be tablecloths, could be anything, right? And here he is. All right, he drags. Now look how easily he's dragging that bag. He just puts it right there. Okay. I have a feeling this could be the same guy that we see in a different area on different surveillance carrying the bag, but I can't tell. But that's exactly the same shape. All right. So there's a plastic bag, and they put in a bunch of towels and then drug them in. Now there's no way that would be a 159-pound person, even a 125-pound person. There's no way you could just drag it like that. Okay. But here's what I could do. I could also trick you. Once you set that bag there, this pointed area slowly settled down. Now watch this. I could go like this over and over. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's moving. Do you see that? Oh my God, everybody, it's moving. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Look. It's moving. Okay, but it's really just the bag settling over time. All right. When I'm scrubbing forward quickly, it's like a time lapse. All right. So that ends on the end of the 9th video. You see a couple officers right here, right? Now we go over to the 10th, and that bag's still sitting there, right? And now officers are looking around for Kenneka because they really had no idea where she was. They weren't able to actually follow where she was going on surveillance. They only found that last footage later in the upper kitchen. I actually think they didn't find her based on the surveillance. I think they just found her in the upper kitchen and then loaded up that footage later, and there she was walking in there. All right, so that's not really related to this video, though. Okay, so now if you watch at about, right around in this time is when Kenneka was found. And then a radio call went out to everybody, and now look, here they all are walking past the bag because Kenneka's not in there. Now at 107, there's the food and beverage manager. He's just going to go get some clean tablecloths and bring them into this room and then bring some dirty tablecloths out. Okay, I'll scrub through that quickly, but here he goes. He grabs the new ones, takes the dirty ones, and throws them on the ground, ready for someone else to wash. Okay? All right. Now, let's get to this bag incident here. Now watch. Here's what happened. Here's a guy walking by. And he throws the towel, and it puffed up the bag. Okay? And now if you look up here, it's 5:57:07. All right, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the same puff by, look at the time now, all right? So from 5:57 to 6:13, I can just go back and forth like this, and it looks to be puffing. And that's the exact moment in time that you see in that YouTuber's video, okay? So they knew to just go like this and eliminate the fact that a guy threw the towel on it, because that's what happened. So in real time, if you were just going to sit here and watch it, it was like that, boom, it puffed up the plastic bag. The guy walks away, and then just over time, the bag settles. All right, you can't even see it with your naked eye. Right there, it skipped because it actually skipped forward about 16 minutes right there. And it settled during that time. Now, if you scrub all the way through it some more, it actually just stays like that because now it's all settled, okay? Now let's even give you some more proof here. So that was at about 6:14, and then I'm going to scale this down so you can see the time right there. So literally, geez, let me see how many hours later that was. So 6:14, about 3 hours later, this guy comes by, and he grabs the bag. Now look how easily he can just kind of swing that over. Do you think that's a 159-pound person? There's not a chance, okay? So what he does is he puts more towels and stuff inside, more tablecloths, stuff that needs to be washed into those bags. But who really cares what he's putting in the bag, okay? The thing is that's not a body, okay? So I hope this puts at ease all the people's minds out there that thought that was a person in the bag and actually moving, because it just isn't, all right? So the reason I make these debunking videos is because there's so much garbage out there, and if you go read the comments underneath that video, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it, how'd they miss that? Well, it's because that's not a body, all right? And I shouldn't be able to debunk anything, but right now, this video I just made completely irrefutably debunks that video. There's no out. Okay, so I shouldn't be able to do that. All right, so you might ask yourself why people make videos like that. I can't answer it because I don't know what's in their heart and soul. But in reality, I believe they do it intentionally to get people riled up and to start watching their videos. Okay? So I hope that helped everybody ease their minds out there. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Straight Drop put out a video on me. And again, he's doing that deceptive crap again. He's using video where the time code up here is changed. Okay? He changes this time code up here. I don't know if he did it or he got footage from somebody else that did it, because what he's showing you is not right. Okay? It's not right at all. He's saying, and what he also does in my video, there's a time where I had the footage zoomed in too much, so the time code, you couldn't see it, and then I catch it, and then I even say it on my video. Oh, okay, let me zoom in a little bit there. I missed it. But he doesn't put that part in there. Okay, and then there's another part in my video. These cameras are all motion activated. And I accidentally left a little too much of the next motion, so somebody just sort of appears in the shot when it shouldn't have been that way, okay? It's just, I left the motion on. And I pointed that out in the video. Of course, he always likes to call it glitching because he loves the glitch. He even made a video where he glitched for 24 hours, and it was pretty amazing. So let's just hear some of the stuff he was saying.
Tampering with things. You're always tampering with something, and you're always trying to put the word facts behind it to make it sound concrete, Mr. Hughes. Who gives you the nerve? What gives you the nerve? Who do you think you are to think that you could just be the only one on YouTube saying this young girl just walked in the freezer?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just making videos on what I see, okay? Just like you are, I guess. Although your videos seem to be doctored up quite a bit. Let's just look for some of the parts that you were talking about. Let's see if I can find it.
At 1:30.
Yeah.
Right?
See, 1:30 in the morning.
Then you have this right here. 1:30:59, right? Then you got this right here, Mr. Hughes. You got Teresa's sister going in there, Mr. Hughes. And he better tell her go down there where she's at. Go ahead, Mr. Hughes. Why are you showing tampered videos, Mr. Hughes? Mr. Hughes, I'm talking to you. There's no time up here, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, I actually, in my video, if you watch it, let's see what time he's got right there. 6:33, right? That's 6:33 in my video that he's looking at. And let's see. I am going to go to 6:33. Right here, right? His hands on his head, and he looks upset. I mean, they're only in here for a real short amount of time. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Looks like I'm scaled out too large here. Let's see if I can make it so you can see the time code right there. Okay. All right, but she's only in there for less than a minute. Okay, so you see how I actually fixed that, but he doesn't show that, right? Then he goes on to have, he has a completely false time code on the video he's going to show. So he uses some video that he found. I don't know where it was, but he has, see, I have it at 1:31, right? When she comes running out, 1:31:49. but he has a version. Now, I don't know if he got this from somebody else or what, but this is not right here. See the date, the 9th? That means, you know, if Teresa already knows that her daughter's passed away, then how did they find her on the 10th at 12:15? You know, 12:20. What, you know, I don't remember the exact time, but you know, when that assistant food court manager went back there. Well, actually, I should have that exact time. Hold on a second, because I think it's in my video. Yeah. So look at, here's the 10th. See that 2017 9/10 at 12:23 and 55 seconds. Okay. Now he has it the day before at 11:48. You know, like literally 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes prior to Kenneka even being found, Miss Martin is screaming and yelling, and that just doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. What makes sense is that after, in my video, you know, when they, right around this time, see, they came back out and they secured a room at about 1:15, but they had already called Miss Martin, so she was on her way there. And then when she arrived at about 1:30, they, you know, they went back in this room. And this guy right here, he looks really upset when. Okay, so I zoomed in, and then here she comes out, 1:31:49. Right? Right there. All right, but when you go watch the straight drop video, he has it at 23:48.
23:48, Mr. Hughes.
And see, he really does have, you know.
And then yours says no time, Mr. Hughes, because you didn't want the people to know that the times don't matter. The red boxes don't matter, Mr.
Yeah, see, I wasn't trying to hide anything, but he didn't show you that I zoomed back out. Okay, that's what I mean. I have this burden of having to do everything exactly right in every single video, or it's a catastrophe. However, when this guy shows you a video that's zoomed in, squashed, filmed with a camera, and wiggled around, it's all believed. It's unbelievable.
Mr. Hughes.
So let's just keep watching
Mr.
this.
Hughes. 48, Mr. Hughes.
Okay, so look at what time he has.
And then on yours says, when she comes in there, look at this, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes. I know you're smart, but your fans, your subs, they're not too smart. All right, so I'm gonna break it.
Okay, you know what? All the people that subscribe to me are smart. Okay, I don't know what the hell this guy is talking about, but you know, he's, you know what? You know the nickname that I've called him before. That's pretty appropriate. Let's see what we're
down for him. Straight drop on his head. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Ain't that what you call me? Straight drop on his head.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Hughes, 23:48, Mr.
Okay.
Hughes.
See, they have 23:48, and she's running out. Yep.
Mr. Hughes.
That's crazy, right? I mean, he does have a video that says that 23:48
comes out, Mr.
but
Hughes.
That's not even possible. Okay, so I don't know where he got his video from, and I don't know if he's the one that edited this time up here, but it has been edited. Okay, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it to you right now. Okay, so here is. I'm gonna go to my Toshiba hard drive on the 10th. The meeting hall east, and I'll just start looking for a time. Okay, we're looking for 1:30. Okay, so I'm going to open up a video, exe file. So that's 12:49. Let's try this one. Okay, 1:14. So I think coming up here, they're about to secure that room right there. Let's see. I'm just opening up these exe files. Okay, here comes the assistant food and beverage manager. He's going to come down here and secure this room because they know that Miss Martin is on her way. Okay. Now I'm going to go forward, see if I can find the 1:30. That's 1:17. There's a lot of motion going on during this time, so there's a whole bunch of files. Okay, 1:27. 1:28. Okay, so right before that, look at the time right here, 1:31. Hopefully you can see that. I'll try to make it a little larger and keep the aspect ratio the same. 1:31:08. Okay, so here comes the sister. Kenneka's sister, and then Miss Martin is following behind. Okay, it's 1:31 in the morning on the 10th. All right, so she goes back there, and then this is the continuation of that motion and extra motion. So 1:30, 1:35, and then you'll see her come running out. See, 1:31:50. Okay, so I don't know where, you know, Straight Drop is getting his video clips from that say 23:48. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know, I don't know. You know, I can't explain to you why he gets the times that he does. All I can say is he's either intentionally putting that there, or he's getting the video from somebody else who intentionally changed this time up here, because it's not accurate. Okay, not accurate whatsoever. All right, now let's see. Later on in this video, he brings up the kitchen, and he talks about how there's a way to get back there. Yes, I've mentioned in other videos, there's 2 doors to the left right here of this office, just like he does. He mentions, and there's one directly behind this shot that you can come into this room. However, there's no other way to get back into this area. Okay, he keeps talking about this hallway and so forth, and look at, you cannot get back in this area without setting off the motion sensor. Okay, yes, and there's this door, and there's another door right through here, and the surveillance camera is just up here that films the room, and this is that office that you see just to the left of the surveillance camera. Now he says that there's a door here that goes back to that area, and that just isn't true at all. You know, shockingly, another thing that it just isn't true. All right, so let's get the scan here. Let's see, where is that? This is the folder I downloaded his latest video in. He'll see that and go, "Oh, he's got a whole folder on me." Jeez. Okay, here's a video MP4. This is the Faro scan. Okay, so it comes in the room. You can get a good visual of the room right now. So, I mean, right there is a good, right there it'll just pretty much shows you the whole thing. Oh, I need to go get it running again here, sorry. Hit the stop button instead of pause. All right, so this is back here, and there's nothing there. See, that's just, you know, circuit breakers and all kinds of stuff. There's no hallway right there, okay? Not at all. Yeah. So this is the area where he says there's a hall that you can get back here, and there just isn't. All right, there's no way to get back into that area without setting off a motion sensor. Now, like I said from the beginning, if there is footage missing that was purposely removed, that was motion sensed, I can't do anything about that, and I have no proof of that, and that's the only option there is that something's being hidden. The time codes are all accurate on the ones if you actually download from Rosemont website or order the external hard drive as I did. You will get the correct time codes. Okay, but here's the Faro scan, and as you can see, there's a door right there. That's the one the manager probably came through, the assistant food and beverage manager. Okay, so just watching this part again, there is absolutely no way to get from that office back there, and as you watch this coming around this corner, there's no way to get back here from over there either, or from outside. This is just an isolated area. Okay, so, you know, you've been deceived again by the same person who deceptively tries to convince people of things. But as you can see in my video, I actually realized that I had been zoomed in too far, then zoomed out, showed the time code. Then I also proved to you that the time codes that he has when Teresa Martin's running out are not accurate, and they also don't make sense logistically, since Kenneka wasn't even found for over 30 minutes after his video shows Teresa running out in despair. She wasn't even at the hotel yet. She hadn't even been called that they'd found Kenneka yet. So that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I just showed that there's no way to get back into this area. Okay? So, I just wish there was at one time somebody came up with where I went, You know, you guys should check out some of Mick Micah's videos. Or Mick Mecca, excuse me, Mick Micah. Mick Mecca, Micmecca. You know, him and I don't agree on, you know, the accident angle is clear. You know, clearly, he thinks there's something going on, but he uses real footage and is accurate. And if you believe in sort of a more of a logical way to look at this case from an angle of a conspiracy or a murder, his are probably the best ones out there. All right, finally some new footage. I guess on Periscope, they've just put out a lot of footage. It looks like they're analyzing some of it live right now, and then they keep putting out chunks. There is some new footage of Kenneka walking alone again. So let's just watch it. Looks like I try to get this to play here. I'm not sure why it's not playing. All right. So here's Kenneka walking alone. And if you note up here, it's 3:26 and then a little different time on that system. I'm not sure what this is over here compared to this, but it looks like this is the actual time that's encoded on the camera, or, I'm not even going to speculate on that, but let's just use one of them as a reference. So 3:26, she's walking down the hall, motion sensors set off, and then as she gets farther away, like I said in one of my other videos, they're also distance activated. So anything past a certain distance, it won't. See right there, she just disappeared because the camera turned off, and then it skipped right to 4:32, which is, a little over an hour later, and some other guy is walking by. So this guy has nothing to do with Kenneka. All right, he walked by an hour and 6 minutes later. All right, and now let's see what else we got here. I guess that's the same footage. She's just walking down the hallway, and now here's the best part, though. So here's the guy in blue that everybody said, and that's the hood. Well, look at him. He's still standing still. Even though there's a guy in the video doing some work, he's just standing really still there. He's not moving, right? And remember this big guy here with a black shirt and his arm? Okay, he's still standing there. Same position and everything. Doesn't that seem crazy? So we know for sure right now that this blue item there is not anybody. It's just items on the wall. It's incredible. Okay, here's some more footage of Kenneka just totally, absolutely obliterated. Walking the halls. So that's at 2:32. Somebody's running by. Okay, and you can see that now an hour later. On this timestamp, Kenneka's completely intoxicated. Kind of just woo. She keeps banging against walls, barely being able to be kept up. Now, if you notice here, she looks whiter. All right? And that's because the person who's making these videos isn't doing a very good job of it. Okay? And I'm going to show you here in just a second. But before we do that, let me show you some more in the kitchen. So here we are in the kitchen, and that same little blue area is right behind this item. But it's not moving. It's just... You got to admit, That's the craziest thing you guys have ever heard. I will admit, though, that I was wrong about one thing. This area right here is glass. Okay, this right here isn't, and this isn't. But this little area right there is glass, and you'll be able to see right here. Now look inside there. There's something moving. Okay, and I'm going to hit play and watch here in a second. Through this window right there, you'll be able to see somebody get up and they walk by and they go behind whatever this is. So I was wrong on that. There is a window right there. I'm not sure if it's actually glass or if that's actually just an opening, because you can't see any reflections of anybody. Like even right here, when that person walks by, it doesn't appear that there's a reflection. So it might just be an opening there. But this definitely isn't a person, and that's not a person in blue right there. Okay, does everyone get that now? All right, now this is what's going on with some of the images and why they're fat. Look what's going on here. The person gets it originally and it looks right, but then they try to make it bigger to fit the screen, and they squeezed it out to the right, and then they keep adjusting it, and you'll see, and they don't quite get it back even to where it was supposed to be normally. They're trying to get it to fit their their screen capture system. So it scrunches everything down, makes everything look fatter and shorter. All right. So hopefully this cleared up some more of the mess. Oh, and look at that guy just walked by, and this person in the blue did not move. Can you believe that? Jeez, the guy in the blue didn't move again. He's just standing right behind there. Oh, man, he must be the greatest actor in the history of the world. All right, so this clears up some more, and quit the nonsense out there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look at right here. Look at right here. Look at right here. Look, no. See that? See that? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Look at it. See that? See that? Look at that. Look. Look at that. You see that? Wow. Look. Right there. You see that? Oh. Let me do that again. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that doesn't really work for me. I don't think people, when they watch my videos, that doesn't seem to work on them. But when you watch all the other videos, oh man, that really sells the narrative. Anyways, this video today is going to be about the the final steps that Kenneka maybe took, and some analysis of some more information inside the freezer. But I'll be respectful and not show images of Kenneka's face, okay, and most of her, body or anything like that. All right, so here's the freezer door, or the cooler door that leads to the freezer. And if you notice, I'll play this video. Now, what I'm going to do here is you'll see the door there. Now, here's the handle of that door, and then once the door is open, I'll show it from inside. Okay, so this is the doorknob inside. So I do that with both the doors, all right? So here we go. Now this is from inside that same door. Now watch this freezer, or the cooler door, it shuts, but it doesn't quite shut all the way. If you notice, what I was able to determine was at the beginning, you see how there's no light showing right there? These doors have gaskets on them, or seals. All right, now watch, you see that? There's no light right there, a strip of light denoting that it's open. Closed, sorry. And now it's going to shut, and you'll notice that there's a little sliver of light right there. And I think that's because the guy who tested this only opened the door about, 45-degree angle, maybe 50-degree angle. And then it shut, but it didn't have the momentum. Now, if you were going to open it all the way, I think it would have enough momentum to shut. Okay, that's speculation, because they didn't show that on the test. But it almost shut, and it wasn't open fully. He just kind of shoved it open, or she, or who's ever running this test here. Now here's a the glow-in-the-dark knob here. So the door shuts. Kenneka goes in there. Now keep in mind, Kenneka was very intoxicated from a combination of alcohol and topiramate. You see her walking down the hall, stumbling, bouncing off of walls. She never fell. She fell over. She would have fallen. She fell over the steps, but caught herself. The stair rail, excuse me. and you see her quite a few times pulling up her pants because they're down, you know, they're loose. You see her adjust her breasts inside of her shirt a number of times because when she fell over those stair rail, they actually came out and then she put them back in. And there's a number of shots where she's doing that. Okay, so that, to me, that explains why she kind of looks the way she does inside the freezer. Pants are slightly down. Not when I say down, I don't mean down. I just mean you can see a little bit of her butt, and you know her top is exactly kind of what you'd expect. I think she was struggling in this freezer to get out. Okay, so you know, keep all that in mind. So what we have here is this test here wasn't perfect because they didn't open the door all the way. You know, as far as you would open it to go in. Okay, so it's completely dark inside that inside the cooler and in the freezer. So when they went inside this cooler, Kenneka did. Oh, jeez, I said they. Now all of a sudden, who's they, Gray? Who's they? Oh my God, it's a conspiracy. He just covered it up. No, it was just me using the wrong word, okay? When Kenneka went inside this cooler, it was dark, right? So she probably felt around a little bit, and then she came to the other handle that opens up the other door. Now, watch this. Okay, so that's the freezer door. Now, this is him testing, or her testing, the freezer and how it shuts on its own. Okay, now this time he opens it up quite a bit further. Actually, that's a guy's hand, so I'll be saying he from now on. All right. So it's opened up almost 90 degrees, and you can hear it click. All right, so that one had enough momentum for the seals to go in, to connect, and then the door to latch. All right. Now keep in mind, this glowing knob here wouldn't have any glow on it at all. It was dark in the freezer, and it was dark in the cooler. So when the door to the cooler shut, it was also dark in there and had no time to charge this safety release knob right there. Okay. And, you know, I just think, like, if you watch the video, I mean, Kenneka's testing all kinds of doors, and, you know, while she's walking, and then she even goes into the men's bathroom. And I think that just shows you how intoxicated and how disoriented and confused she was, okay? And you get a lot of people, how can she make it up those stairs? Well, I think a lot of us have been drunk in our lives and have made it upstairs. You know, and when I say drunk, I mean, you know, I was in a fraternity, okay? So let's just put it that way. We all have drank way too much and really didn't have a clue what we were doing, but we could make it up some steps. So to keep throwing that out there as if it's some bombshell discovery is ludicrous, okay? Maybe you couldn't make it up the stairs, and that's it. You know, you can't use that as some sort of a fact. It's ridiculous. All right, so anyways, she goes into the freezer. And now I'm going to show you another video. I want to clear up another point, too, that people are making regarding the lip gloss and her shoe being sort of in the doorway itself. Okay, well, that's completely explainable. Now watch this. All right, now, if you recognize this, this is the corner Kenneka was in. Her head was right there, and this is that dark sort of grime, whatever the hell that is. It's pretty disgusting. And the floor is just really dirty. I mean, the floor is absolutely filthy. All right, now look at this right here. You see this? The door actually shuts on an inset. I mean, it's out a little bit, and this is the gasket here that creates a little bit more distance. So let's just look at this. There's this, then that, and a little bit of a gasket space. I think some of that might be a shadow, but part of it's the gasket space for sure. So you've got 1, 2. Now let's look at the actual image of that area. Let me find the correct screen here. Yeah, right here. Now look. See the shoe? Now let's do that counting again. There's 1, 2. Now the door actually hits against this. This is where the gasket hits and seals in the cold air. Right there. Now the gasket, again, makes it so that it's a little bit off of that. So you see this lip gloss here? It's just barely over the edge there. That makes total sense. Her foot is not even close to where the door would be. So this foot has nothing to do with anything weird, and this one's right on the edge, so that's not weird either. That's just where they are, okay? All right, now another thing is you look at her foot right there. It has abrasions here and looks like a scuff against the ankle bone right there. See that? Real clear. Like, looks like it even took maybe a little bit of skin off right there. And then some abrasion there. What I picture happening here, and this is speculation, right? But I speculate on facts, and what I'm doing is I'll take a fact and I might speculate. Okay, what I think happened was she went in there and she was just trying to get out, and then at one point she took off one of her shoes and banged it against the door, trying to get help. I bet you she even yelled for help at one point. Okay, and her shoe was off. And then she just kind of walked around, and I think she walked against the edge of the freezer wall, and, you know, like her foot probably scraped against right around one of these edges right here. Look, it's not smooth, and it probably scraped the side of her foot. Okay, I think that makes sense to me. Okay, I don't know why her shoes are slightly untied here. I don't know if they were loose while she was walking in the halls. I didn't look at that. Maybe she took both shoes off at one point, put one back on, couldn't find the other one. I don't know. Okay, what I can say is, though, for sure, is that her shoe was found over in this corner. It's not in this photograph here, though. And I can say also for sure that this right here is not a footprint. People say, "Oh wow, there's a footprint on the side of her shoe." I know a lot of you know that's not true, but for those out there that still think that's something, I'm going to explain it to you. Now look, let's zoom way in. You see how there's a design on the shoe, and there's a relief, a raised level around each one of these impressions right there. So it's like a dimple, right? So that goes in, and then there's a ridge that goes around. I'll change the brightness and contrast on here so that you can, let's see, get a better view. You see that? Now you can really see it. Like, here's the inside, and then there's a raised level that goes all the way around. So what this looks like to me is that this foot rubbed against something that had dirt on it, like on the floor, for example. Let's say she was on that foot actually is, because she was on her left side when they found her, that would be the dirt that showed up on the shoe right there. Okay, so let's look at the other side of the shoe, which is, you might be perplexed when you see that this is the other side of the shoe. Okay, so when they flipped her over that way, that other image was the left side of her left shoe. This is the inner side of her left shoe. All right, now keep in mind how dirty this foot would get. On the dirty floor, and she's in this corner huddled up, and I doubt she just went there and stayed in that exact position. If this foot had just raised a little bit and was even with this foot with the shoe on, the dirt that this foot would be transferred and be put on the inner side of that shoe right there. Okay, and so for me that makes sense. So this foot had a bunch of sort of the dirt and grime that's on the floor. She lifts it up, puts it on there, maybe even, rubs her foot on there. I mean, who knows why. And dirt was deposited there, okay? This is my speculation, but for me, it makes sense. It makes more sense than some sort of wild theory that she was drugged through the halls, you know, or drugged through the kitchen, or wherever you think she was drugged, you know, drugged from. I don't know, okay, or dragged, or whatever the hell. I don't know what the the tense for that one is at this moment. I'm just kind of trying to get through this video here. Let's see. There was also another claim by some YouTuber, and they had a supposed image analysis person on, just a crack expert. I mean, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard on YouTube. Every single thing she pointed out, she might even say, "Ooh, see that little red thing there? I think that's blood from the killer." Yeah, you see this little thing right here? Every single thing she pointed at had some kind of reference to this being a murder, and it's just ludicrous. You want to hear the most ludicrous one that I saw? As soon as I heard it, I started laughing, and I wanted to scream at my set because everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're right!" You see how blurry this dime is right there? And then how clear this dime is? She said, "Wow, that proves that this image was manipulated." Oh my God, she made everybody just really freak out. And the truth is it has nothing to do with that. The truth is it's focal length. Okay, now the angle that this image was taken at it's awesome to prove the point here. All of these, the shoe, this foot, and this dime are kind of on the same level and inside of focal length because of the angle the camera was at when it took the photo. Okay, the photo. This dime, though, is outside the focal range, and it's blurry, as well as the grout line. All the tiles back here are blurry, and so is the dime. But if you notice, the shoe's really clear, the left foot's really clear, and the dime is really clear. But what's interesting, another thing you might ask about that is, why would blurring out a dime be... I mean, who would ever take the time to do that? Like, what would it matter to blur out a dime that's on the floor? Everyone can tell it's a dime, even though it's blurry. I mean, it's absolutely insane, the stuff that's out there on YouTube. But what made me sad was all the people watching who were so emotional and so excited about the information. And I just was so ashamed. And I kept trying to type, but I'm blocked when I was watching that. I think I'm blocked on there, so I kept saying, "Hey, are you guys serious? Come on, look at the fact." But they can't see what I'm saying. It wouldn't matter anyways, because they'll just say that I'm working for the hotel and I'm just trying to convince people of something. When in reality, I'm just trying to get the truth out there, okay? Now, some of the stuff I just said is speculation, but it's all based on facts that are in the images, and I'm not wildly speculating. Now, wild speculation is what a lot of these other YouTubers are doing. They do what I see often on the show called Ancient Aliens. You've seen that show, right? The guy with the big poofy hair. You know, they'll say something like, "Could this item be from extraterrestrials? And if it is from an extraterrestrial, could it then be responsible for the pyramids? And if the pyramids are from..." You know, they keep going on and on with the ifs, okay? And you can't do that, because the first speculation was already wild. Now you're speculating on that, and you're exponentially making it way, way unlikely. I mean, I'm talking about, 1 in a trillion of something happening when you do that. Okay, so keep that in mind, and I think that's about it for this video, and until next time, I will talk to you later. Hello, this will be a walkthrough version. It's my third version, and this one is the most complete version yet, and I feel really confident that this is the actual path fully. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the full walkthrough, maybe stop it a couple times to explain things, and then at the very end I'm going to show you how I analyzed video from the actual Antoine M and the Rosemont Village video that they released. Okay, they did a walkthrough video. I think maybe that was even the police who did that, but it's not really a walkthrough video. I wouldn't do it the way they did it. They just kind of went to different locations and did a stagnant sort of pan, and I would actually have just mimicked her path. I would have a camera in my hand and walk it, because I think if I was there right now, I could actually walk the path that she was on. The only part that is a little hard to do is exactly where she went in the lower level kitchen when she was in the blind spot. Okay, but anyways, let's watch the walkthrough right now. Okay, so the elevator door opens up and Kenneka's just about to exit, and then I switch over to Rosemont footage. So they turn and you see the ramp there, and then Kenneka heads that direction. And she's going to go up this ramp, and if way in the back there is a surveillance camera that's going to pick her up as she comes up that ramp. All right, and you can really get a good feel of how intoxicated Kenneka is right now. I mean, she's just stumbling all around, and at one point she actually leans against the wall and her feet are what are moving her forward. Okay, now that's what she's looking at, conference level. Right? She sees that wall in front of her. Okay, so just to her right's the door and conference level, and now she's going to turn right there, and she's going to go down this really long hallway. Okay, now Antoine M's video comes in here, and now you can see this is the hallway. She's going to be walking down. All the way at the end down there is a double door. Okay, so she's just stumbling around. Not sure if she's trying to get into a door or what she's doing, but she's really staggering around. It's 3:30 in the morning, so very few people are even awake at that time. Okay, the surveillance camera then loses her, and a few seconds later she's picked up on the surveillance camera at the end of the hall, and then she's going to go through double doors and then another set of double doors that go right into the kitchen. Now watch this. 25, up at the corner, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Now see that? Almost right on the money there. She's going a little slower because she's staggering. That guy, Antoine M, walked quickly. All right. So she went right through those double doors into the lower level kitchen, and she leaves the screen, and then I don't know, in about 10 seconds or so she's caught on another surveillance camera in the kitchen, and that is coming up right here. Okay, and she's sort of heading back in this direction, and then you see her head just show up right here. Watch. Right there, boom. Okay, and then I fill it in with this, and I'm going to show you how this is accurate. And then she goes through a different double door that she originally went through, goes into the hallway where the stairs are, and this is where she almost falls right over the stairs. That was Antoine M's footage again. All right, looks like she's fixing her bra. After she fell over that, it probably came loose a little bit. And then she goes into that corner, and I think she probably, you know, she might even had a drink of water over there. It's hard to say, really. So she's back there in maybe 10 or 15 seconds. I didn't actually count. Okay, and she's going to come back and then goes into the men's bathroom. She's in there for another 10 or 15 seconds. Alright, and then she comes out and she goes back around to where that drinking fountain is. And then she comes back or out. Now this is where people say, oh, somebody grabbed her. Do you see how she stepped back, like right there? As if they hadn't noticed how intoxicated she was. That's how she's been walking around. Okay, look at her. All right, now she goes back through those same double doors. We're at the end of that Antoine M video when she left. So let me go back. Okay, so it was right here. Okay, not that part. Hold on a second. Yeah, it was right here. So she goes through those double doors, and you can see the stairs. So if you actually look at it closely, watch this. It's kind of interesting. See right there? Those are the stairs that she falls over. Okay. So, anyways, after she heads back, she goes back through those double doors, right here. And this goes back into that lower level kitchen area. Now, watch this. So this is going to be using the Antoine M video. Now watch, here's a good way to, some of the analysis that I do are things like this. So after she goes through there, you see the ahead sign. And now watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this stack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now watch this. This is the Rosemont video right here. Here's the ahead sign, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, everything matches. These designs match. This door is there. Everything. All right, and you can see those designs in a different part of the video, but this right here is the same door that you're about to see at the very end, right there. It's just a different. It's a wide-angle lens on a cell phone camera, so it makes everything really small in the distance. Okay. So let's continue on. All right, so this is that same door. Now, this is what I mean. They just kind of move the camera and then pan around and stuff, and I don't like it. Now, here's the stairway door that she went through. Okay, so let's get a reference again. So this door right here is the same door that's right here. Notice the red right there, and it kind of looks like a ripped off. There was a larger sign, and then this part got ripped off, and then there's red remaining, and you can see that it's right there. Okay, so that's the same. Okay, so she goes through the stairway door here. And then she goes up these stairs, and if you notice at the top of the stairs, there's a top of a red, yellow caution sign, and then a red sort of painted bricks there. Okay. Then the next shot is at the top. There's the caution sign, the bricks, top of the stairs. Then there's some guy standing there for some unknown reason. Probably just making sure nobody comes through that while the shots are done. And then up, this guy ruined the shot. And Kenneka goes through those doors right there. Okay, so again, this is how they film. I don't really like the way they did the walkthrough. They should have just walked through those doors and then turned around and filmed this. But what they're doing is Kenneka goes through this door, this double door here, and then they film back at the same door that they just came through. This is a different room. See the yellow bricks there? Okay. And they do the same thing in a minute here again. So she came through those double doors, And then she actually came through this wooden double door set here. I think they put this little lock on after Kenneka died in the freezer to keep people out of there. A little late. Okay, so they come into, after they open up those doors, now they're inside, and now they're filming the same doors from inside the kitchen. Okay, now if you look up, see those windows up here? Now they show those again. Now they go through these doors, and now they're filming the doors from the inside. This is actually in the kitchen where, and there's the windows. This is in the kitchen where they found Kenneka. Okay, so when the camera pans, you'll start to notice recognizable things that were in the final video of Kenneka, including the Nefarious Starbucks coffee cup. All right. Now back here is the freezer. Okay, the surveillance camera's up here at a different angle, so you can't actually see the freezer door, but you can kind of just, seems like you can just make out. If it was over just a foot, you could have seen the door. Now here comes Kenneka. All right. And then she goes into the cooler door. Okay, so there's an actual cooler door that was right here. So she opens this. This is just a cooler. It's not a freezer. Or at least it was just cooling. They could have, maybe you can set it as a freezer, but at this time it was just a cooler. So she could open it up. And this door shuts on itself also. Okay, there's Rosemont showed videos about that. Okay, so she opened that and then she took a left. Now let's go back a little bit for a point of reference here. Okay, so she opens up this door. Now note there's a box on the floor right there for reference, and I think they may have even used it for that. Okay, now they're opening up the door that was on the left. Okay, that was in that freezer. So if you look, let's watch that again. Right here, there's a door right there. Okay, note the light switch here and a light switch there. I don't know if it was dark in here when Kenneka was in the freezer. Okay, but there's two light switches, and I would bet they were off. Okay, so this is the opening of the door of the actual freezer that they found her in. Okay, now the next shot is interesting because it shows how the door, now there's the safety knob, but it shows how the door will actually just shut behind you and latch. Okay, so this is testing. So this is from inside that freezer. Note the box on the ground. You see it right there? Now watch that shut behind. And it actually makes, if you watch it on their footage, you can hear it click, and it actually latches. Okay, so when she was in there, I think that she didn't realize that you had to push on it. Now, if it was dark, it would have been even harder, okay? I think she probably twisted it a whole bunch of times, but didn't realize that she needed to push on it. Now, if the lights were on in there, you'd think a push sign here would have made sense, just in general. I mean, why not put a push sign on all those doors just for safety? Okay, I don't see those. All right, so she probably tried to twist the knob and she couldn't get out, and she ended up freezing to death in that final freezer. Now Pharaoh here, they did a whole scan. It's an actual device. It's on a tripod, and you can actually see the shadow of itself in some of the shots at the end. Okay, and let's just go through this. So this double door here is the same double door that, let's see, right, this double door right here, that's the same double door that's on the Pharaoh scan. Because watch, when you go through the double door, and then there's the wooden door. Now here's the Pharaoh scan. All right, those are the double doors. And then off to the right a little bit is the wooden door. Then through this kitchen. Now, if you'll notice, there's no elevator down here. That was all bogus information that people gave out. This is actually a room with nowhere to go back there. It's just another freezer, it looks like, almost. See, that's what it looks like in that room. Okay? So there's nothing back there. There's no elevator that led to a freezer. That's a different... there's video on YouTube, and that's not the same kitchen. Okay, now... the scan goes inside the cooler area, and if you notice to the left is the freezer, and this is where Kenneka was found. Now notice right here, this is a shadow of the Faro device itself. See the tripod right there? Okay, so I hope that explains the route much better. I have a really good understanding of it now. Now I'm going to go back and show you guys some of the video analysis that I did to determine where that second set of double doors that led to those stairs that Kenneka fell over. Okay, and I'll show you exactly where that is. All right, and I will do that next. Okay, so the Antoine M video is a gold mine of video analysis, even though it's wiggling all over the place. If you slow things down, you can see some telltale signs here. Okay, so you guys remember this long hallway, right? So she takes a left, goes all the way down the hallway, and then straight through a set of double doors. Okay, now watch. Let's do this part again. Maybe I'll speed it up and get it forward a little bit. Okay, now she goes through the double doors in just a second. I'm using Antoine M's video to show the double doors. Okay, now Kenneka's path was straight through those double doors right there. Okay, now Antoine M, however, he goes this way, but it helps determine other information later. It's awesome. Okay, so again, now right here, you remember this is where the head sign is? Right there, up above, and the chairs. Okay, so Kenneka at one point actually walked from behind us. The thing is there's a double door set right here to the left. So if you walk this way and then around, there's a double door. This is the double door that leads to the stairs that Kenneka, the rails that she fell over. Okay, and I know this because of video analysis here. So let's just go forward. Now he's walking around. So basically, let's see what he does here. Okay, so he doesn't walk straight towards those doors. He takes a left right here. Okay, but eventually he comes all the way back. He talks to somebody, and I think he gets nervous. You can tell on the video he's a little bit nervous. So as he's walking back, though, watch this. I mean, it's really out of control, the video. But I can actually see where he's at. Not in those locations. Go now. Here is the set of chairs, the same set of chairs that we counted earlier that had 5 and 8. Okay, so he's walking back that same direction, and you can even, let's see, right there. I think you can almost count that there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Yep, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 chairs right there. So he's walking by. Now watch this. Now note this grated sort of door right there. A fenced door. Okay, that's right here. Okay, so right after going through the double doors, you walk forward, and there's a hall to your right that leads to the other double doors that go into the kitchen where Kenneka went. Okay, so here's a fence, gate that you can probably shut, it looks like. Alright, so let me show you some more of this video here. It's pretty cool. So remember where those chairs are, right? Okay, now here's the gate. I'm not sure if it's a door or a fence that slides, okay? Now this is where I believe the surveillance footage of Kenneka is, in the kitchen where people say they saw somebody in blue with a hoodie on. Okay, the upper kitchen video. Or excuse me, the lower level kitchen videos. Alright, you see right there the yellow on the wall. And you notice there's people standing in a line, looks like at a table, maybe cutting some things up. Notice this thing. It's a wheeled cart of some sort. And air conditioning, a light. Okay, just keep your mind on that. Here's another thing. If you slow it down right here, you see this dark chunk on the ground here. This is that same hallway that originally back here. Watch. That's right here. It's that chunk of darkness. I don't know what it is, but you know, it looks like just something broken on the tile broken or something like that. Also notice the red pipe up there. All right. And just prior to that, you could see that red pipe right there. Okay, now right after that, now you'll notice they go right through the double doors, and there's the stairs that Kenneka fell over. Okay, so this proves that that door is just to the left off of this. See, when you're walking this direction, those double doors are this way. Okay, so what Kenneka did was she walked through those, you know, after going down the long hallway. I'm going backwards right now. Okay, so she goes through the double doors, and then she goes through these double doors. Okay, she doesn't turn left here. She goes straight through those double doors. All right, now I'm going to show you some more information that's pretty cool. All right, we also know that that's the same double door. This is where the Rosemont people filmed the door that they also say she went out that leads to the steps. Okay, that leads to the steps. And look how similar this is. Look, it even has, you know, this board still there. This little mark on the wall. See that light? It's a little bit faded because it's a blurrier video. You can just tell the quality is not as good. And it's right there. And so that's the same door that Rosemont said she went out. Okay, but what Rosemont did was they just cut straight to from the first set of double doors she went through to this one. They didn't do any of the kitchen surveillance footage or any of that walkthrough. Okay, now here's some more proof that the surveillance camera footage was from this opening right here. Now here's those chairs again. I'm going to go through and do better analysis. So I did some still shots for you. Now notice this. Okay, you can see this wall right here is this wall. Note the piece of some of this paper is hanging down lower, just like that. Now here's the cart. This cart right here has the same coloring. Everything's the same. Now it looks like there's some chefs at a long table here. Okay, now let's move it forward a little bit. I got a different photo for you. A different still shot. Now notice the yellow wall there? Yellow wall. This right here is this. This light is this light. This camera is low and farther to the right. The surveillance camera is in the room and off to the left. So like basically just a little this direction is the door, and that's why Kenneka went this way. She went out, took a left, and went out through those double doors. Okay, but again, like here's the air conditioner. That's right here. Okay, here's this part right there. This light would actually end up hitting on the corner if you extended it just like that. Okay, so that little snippet from Antoine M's video actually proves that that's the kitchen that Kenneka went in that you see her walking right through this way. So if you were watching it on this one, she would have walked by like this, disappeared for a while, went by that other surveillance camera, and then came back through this opening and then down that hall. Okay, and after she did that, she went out the, let's see, she went out into this area, and she came back through, and then we already went through and showed you how she went up the stairs and ended up in the kitchen. Okay, so I hope that explains it. I know it's a little bit difficult to show people how I do this, but this is what I do. Okay, I've done this for, I've done it professionally a few times. I'm not saying I'm some world-renowned expert or anything like that, but this is what I do, and I do it a lot, and I do it as a hobby, and I do it professionally, and I hope this helped out. But I'm really confident. I don't know where she went after she went this way, like what's over here off the screen, and I don't know where that other surveillance camera was, but we do know that she came back, and then her head appears just in this video, so you know she's still in this room over here. Okay, and then she leaves the room right here, so if you can imagine, and then she goes back down and goes out to where those stairs are, and then later she comes back through and walks right by this door straight ahead, you know, and then takes a left, goes up the stairs, and you know, we saw that earlier. Okay, so now I'm officially rambling on, and I hope this video helps, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. I thought it would be interesting to do a video on the sequence of surveillance footage during the time that Kenneka is on her walk, and also show her where she is on her, you know, when she's her drunk walk, or whatever you call it, intoxicated. She's walking through the halls. That walk at the same time, other things are going on. Now, keep in mind, these aren't perfect. I noticed that when you play back the exe files, the speed varies a little bit. So when you capture it and you sync it up to a timeline, you have to kind of, you know, slow footage down, like, you know, 100, maybe make it 93% speed or 102 to get the speed to match the actual, like, you know, a real timeline. So you have a digital clock up here in the upper left that I use that's, you know, real accurate. All right, so this is kind of the look I'm talking about. So you're going to see what's going on at the exact moment Kenneka is moving throughout the hotel. All right, so let's just start playing it. I started a little bit before she comes out of the elevator, though, because I wanted to make sure I got the security guard walking, because if I'd left just that little part out just prior, somebody would complain about it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Actually, before we get here, there was something interesting that I noticed, too. Let me show you this. See, this is all the footage. Now notice there's more of a cluster here and over here, but there's this huge gap here that very few people are even moving around. And like I've said before, it's like a perfect storm. You know, this case is just, you know, or you could maybe imperfect storm. You know, perfect sounds positive, but, you know, it's like the movie. Everything that could go wrong went wrong and led to her death. I mean, it's totally tragic. So let's just watch this. I fit this back in the way it was. Okay. So I think I mentioned the time isn't going to be exactly right. It might be 2-3 seconds off in some cases. So, all right. So this is around 3:24 and 53 seconds. You see the lady at the front desk, so you can see these are synced up pretty well. Okay, right at that moment, 3:25, and Kenneka comes out the elevator. I think she came from the 9th floor, hit LL, and went all the way to the bottom. Okay, security guard right there at the front desk. Front desk. Okay. And now Kenneka's going to be coming up the ramp here. A few seconds later. Now keep in mind, this is the lobby. See these stairs right here? If Kenneka went this direction, she'd be right here with all these people at this time. See right there, she kind of looks left, almost went left. Had she gone left, she would have ended up right here with all these people, and even might have even bumped into some people from the party. You know, I don't know for sure if these people were from the party, but yeah, there's a lot of people there from the party. I don't know if there was like 100 people or not, but she might have bumped into them. Okay, now she's continuing her walk, goes around. So right now, she is, you know, floor below, and there's nobody down there. So you can watch all the surveillance footage. It's on, you know, the floor above, right? And those guys in that video went in the lobby area, but what they probably did was turn this direction and headed towards the elevators. If you watch that other video I made, the elevators are back in that direction. Okay. So, right now, there's just very little going on. I mean, look at how the lobby's really still, and right now, Kenneka's down, walking in a hallway. See, this for about 6 minutes, there isn't really much activity at all, just in general. You know, and it was just absolutely the wrong time for any of this to, I mean, it's never the right time, but for her to be drunk or intoxicated, stumbling through the halls, this was absolutely the worst moment. Alright, so when she goes up into the lower kitchen, I mean, there isn't a soul around at this point. You know, if somebody else can find some other motion during that exact time, let me know. But I looked through all the folders and videos that I had, and maybe I missed something, or, you know, but I didn't find any extra. Okay, there's that other shot, that newer shot in the kitchen. See her head just for a second there. So now there's a gap here. This is when she is walking by those chairs in my other video. Okay, now here's the mom with the son with the neck pillow on. I think I recorded that too high of a speed. Okay, now there's Kenneka. She just came out those double doors after passing those chairs in the kitchen that I showed in my walkthrough video. And right now, here's that mother with their child with the neck pillow. And this is what I'm saying. Now, see how she takes a left right here? Now watch right here. These are the stairs that Kenneka would have came up had she taken that left. You'll see the mother come out here in just a couple seconds here. Because there's two, you have to go up a flight of steps this way and then like this. So she's going to come up. See? And she's walking really slow because she was texting. You know, but they came up. So, you know, that's, and there's a security guard that everybody's curious about. But, you know, you walk by, probably, I think he went to the elevators actually because he should go down that hallway to the left right over here. Okay, now right about now, the activity starts picking up a little bit upstairs. Okay, you see some movement way down there, and I think somebody starts walking by in this area. But, see the lobby's a little bit busier now. Yeah, see these two are off by 4 seconds right now. But, it's close. Right, see, like she just showed up, but then this one's a little bit behind. 56, about a second behind. All right, now here's Kenneka. She's downstairs, walking. Now she's heading back into those double doors towards those chairs that were stacked. And this is when she makes her sort of a journey through up the stairs and through the wooden doors and into the kitchen. Okay. And here's Bree at 3:31 coming by, but she heads straight back to the elevators, as you've seen in the video I made yesterday that shows the actual where the elevators are in relation to the lobby and how you actually would be able to take them all the way from the 9th floor clear down to the lower level or the lobby level. All right, so you can see that guy with the backpack in all his shots. Looks like he's got a load of luggage out in the lobby there. There's a guy with the backpack. All right, so at this point, Kenneka is in a place she shouldn't be right now. Maybe it should have been secured, but she's in a place where she shouldn't be. And going through those double doors, the wooden double doors upstairs at this point, and then she ends up coming through this kitchen. And if you notice, there's absolutely nobody around anywhere. It's just dead. You got the manager, he's at the front desk, and there's just back here. The manager right here went to the luggage room. So he went through this door, and I guess there's some kind of luggage room. Then he grabs something. See, these are off a little bit. That was about 5 seconds ahead. So that's about it right there. So yeah, you don't see him pick up whatever yeah, he's got it. Right there. He's got some shirts, I guess. But yeah, it's 5 seconds. Yeah, you can see him hanging to the ground right there. Because I know somebody will question it. But see the shirts, the same bag. It's right there. So he goes out. But like I said, the varying speed, you have to adjust every so often to get everything synced up. Because when you're playing it back, it sort of goes quicker and slower and quicker, and it's not absolutely perfect like that, but you can line up the time codes, and that's the best. Whenever there's a second, you can line them up. Sometimes the frames appear quicker and slower, and that's the part that's somewhat hard, because then you have to adjust the timing every so often throughout the video. Okay, so I hope this shows you that there really wasn't much going on during most of her walk, and that it really speaks to a tragic accident. All right, and I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll be working on other ones in the future, so keep tuned, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello, this is Grant Hughes. A couple weeks back, I put out a Thai live video because Rosemont had enhanced the audio of both the Irene and Thai lives months ago, but finally uploaded the audio files. Okay, so I put the audio file to the Thai video and uploaded it so people could watch it in a clear form and also with the clearest known video. Now I have also the clearest known video of the Irene footage, and I put the enhanced audio below it. Now I have taken the liberty to put down the words that I hear said, and when I don't put down the word, it means that I didn't understand what was said, or it's inaudible. And sometimes I put the word inaudible in the middle of a sentence if I can make out part of the rest of the sentence. Okay, and I know that there's other words said in the background and so forth, but I can only make out 1 or 2 words, so I didn't put them in. But the main gist of the conversations are put into this video. Okay, now I also took out the music portion at the end and then replaced it with different music to avoid the, I guess they call it copyright infringement. All right. So I have my own music put in there, and during that time there really is very little said. It's just things going on, people are moving around. For example, Munifa takes the phone, and then she walks into the bathroom for a minute, then comes back out. And what I also do is I put up the photograph of the room and correctly orientated the live that Irene was doing by flipping it horizontally. And when you're watching it, take a look at the photos to the left of her, and you'll notice that she's sitting on the bed closest to the bathroom, but with her legs in between both the beds, right? So her back is to the mirror, and you can just watch it and figure out on your own exactly where she is and where Monifa is during the video, okay? So without further ado, everybody, here is the video.
You funny as fuck, Ruby.
It's bad. Oh, listen. Let me see, Irene.
Slow your roll, shorty.
That keep my head, huh?
Who got the numbers?
It's slow fucking.
Let me see it.
She played fucking
Let me see.
Rick Ross.
Let me see. Same motherfucker called me wolfing earlier. So let me see the phone. That's crazy.
Man, the phones ain't working. This weak ass connection.
Let me see what y'all phone.
Shut up. You stay at the top of me. You want to get into it?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get into it. You go back.
Y'all blowing me.
Back and forth like she's doing.
Shit.
That's Shemaya.
Yeah, my shit turning red. You know I'm on this act like.
No, we don't.
Yo.
Hi, that's nice. So it's not nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's big, ain't it? I sure hope somebody come. They got an Android.
Yeah.
That's you?
Mm-hmm. I just got them
Yo, talk shit with all night. You
all get to it.
All type of shit.
Hello.
She think she crazy.
Parking inside. It's the parking lot. It's a parking lot.
My folks can use them tickets a lot of times too. He said you can go in.
Park at the parking lot.
So, if somebody else parking here, y'all just gotta let them use y'all shit.
You look pretty. Happy birthday. Thank you. That is hi, my kid. I told ya. What you saying over there, Slick?
Really, I read that thing clear. Say $200.
What you say? What you say, Gail Smart?
I really let me get the weed, bro.
Damn, I just got the weed.
Bitch, you just passed and they just passed it back.
Let me see who you talking to. It don't matter. I'm putting my face on this now. Did you put any enforce in this?
Someone's phone. 125.
Charlotte weak ass connection. Hello. 926. 26. Hmm.
I'm out. You can go out to sea. Me too, sure. Let me see that.
What y'all can do?
Yeah, you tripping. Yeah.
What the fuck? Arnisha ain't hit it. You got some money for me? Check it out. Yeah.
I'm not drunk.
You don't have to just need to enjoy yourself. You sit
I am enjoying
I don't
myself.
see. I don't think so.
What's up? You hit me? I'm out here. I'm telling you. What's up? You riding with me or what? Boy, you tripping. I don't trip.
Hello, this is Grant Hughes again. I hope you enjoyed the new intro. It's about 7 seconds shorter than the last iteration that I put out on YouTube yesterday. I appreciate all the help that my subscribers and friends on YouTube helped with. They had some good ideas. I shortened it up a little bit. Unfortunately, everyone seemed to like a different song, and some people like the non-black and white version, and so forth. So at some point, I have to just decide on what I like the best, and what you just saw was the one that I liked the best. So, anyways, I want to say thanks to everybody for helping out there. That was cool. All right, so let's get started. What I thought I would do right now is play the whole walkthrough animation again from start to finish and not really stop it, you know, because I think the one I put out before, I stop it a lot. I might stop it a couple times, but in general I'll just kind of let it play. You know, maybe this first part, this is a really slow camera turn here, so I'll get it moving anyways. But let's get, I actually did add another part in too, so it's right there, and then I added some stuff at the end. So this is the Rosemont police investigation, what they believe is the path that Kenneka took, and it makes sense, you know, other than you know, the famous Mike Mecca location where it's possible she took the freight elevator up to the upper kitchen. All right, so let's get started. Here's room 926 right there. Okay, Kenneka's out in the hall, is left in the hall, and she gets on this elevator right here. Okay, and that's where we will pick it up. So she gets on that elevator. She comes out on the lower level. It's called the Pass elevator. You know, again, very intoxicated. This time up here in the upper right hand corner is the system time, and it syncs up all the cameras. You can just, like right now when Kenneka walks by this area right here, had she taken a left right there, she would be right up in the lobby. Right now, if she'd taken a left, she'd be up in the lobby. She'd have to go up 2 stairs and be in the lobby, and you could just cut over to the lobby camera and you'd see her coming up. It's that accurate. Okay, right there she was using the wall to hold herself up. Okay. You know, but I mean, she does move relatively quickly, not as quick as somebody obviously not intoxicated could walk, but she seems really like sort of disoriented, off balance a little bit. But as you can see in the later on when she's in the bathroom footage, near the bathroom, it's called lower level bathroom, she does use a rail to keep herself up, which is the same, you know, there's rails in the stairs that lead up to the upper kitchen. Alright, so here's Kenneka. She's now at the end of this long hall after she took that left. And now she's heading to the, I'm using Antoine M's video for that part. This is from Rosemont, this clip. So she goes through those same double doors, and then Antoine M's video. So after she goes through those double doors, she actually goes through another set of double doors and goes straight into this lower level kitchen. Okay, now apparently there's kitchen 2 sort of off to the left of the screen right there that Kenneka went in, and we see her on surveillance camera just for a brief moment on a camera that's in kitchen 2, and that's right here, kitchen 2. So you'll see her walk by, and then you'll see her in the lower level kitchen, just the top of her head right down here in this corner right there. And then she goes out. There's a little side exit from there. Okay. And she comes out. She went out and took a left and then heads straight out. And this is where the lower level bathroom area is. Okay. So she first goes in there, and then we'll cut to the surveillance footage. Alright, now you'll note there are some time jumps in here. Every time you see the red box go off, you have to start counting 8 seconds or 9 seconds again. Okay, because that's when it starts over. Okay, right there now, it's 9 more seconds. Okay, 9 more seconds. That's the buffer. Okay, so if she leaves for more than 9 seconds, so she left at 31. Let's see, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Oh, that's because she came back out and that started up another buffer. Yeah, there you go. See right there? If you counted back, that was exactly, it was 20 seconds. So she came back out and the red box came back on. That's because we didn't really lose any time at all because she happened to come back and be picked up exactly 20 seconds later. So she got the end of one buffer and the front end of the next buffer. All right, so right there she went off camera. I didn't catch when the red box was on. Let's see what time that is. Hold on. I am going to reverse this a little bit. Let's see. All right, so she's right there. Let's see, right when she comes out of the bathroom. Let's see if it picks her up. So 3:30, 35, 36. Okay, right there, 36. It got her, but now it's not picking her motion up because it's so slight. So 3:36. Now you'll notice it should 36. Okay, so she'll probably be coming out here again. Another 20-second one. Yep, right there. It was exactly 20 seconds again. That's amazing. Yeah, so she got the end of one buffer and the beginning of the next buffer. Now she's picked up on surveillance, and then her foot is picked up on motion, I mean. And then her feet were picked up on, that's how you got the next box. And then she goes back through these double doors, the same one she went in a couple minutes prior. And she walks by. Now this is where there's no surveillance camera. This one up here, if it's a real surveillance camera, is not working. It's possible it's a dummy camera, but you know, that's just wild speculation. So this camera wasn't working right here, and she takes a left right here, and I think I fixed it. Okay, now you can see the door. On my previous one you couldn't see it, but she heads right towards those doors. Okay, then she heads up the stairs. Alright, and here's an overlay using the Rosemont footage. Then she goes in through the first set of double doors, and then you'll see her come through the wooden set of double doors that lead right into the upper kitchen. Some people call it the kosher kitchen. And then she walks by the camera. Okay, and right here she walks back in this area. I think she went back to that other cooler first. Okay, then she came back to this area. This isn't going to have any animation, but this is just going to show people that aren't familiar with this. So after looking in that other cooler, she opens up this door right here. Okay, so just pretend that's Kenneka's hand right there. Right, and then it opens, and then there's another footage where there's actually, looks like motion going into the actual cooler area. So that's what this is, where that box is. That's in the cooler. Okay, now it's looking back out the door she came, and inside that cooler is the freezer door, which is right there. So as soon as you come in, you just take a quick left and you're right there at the freezer door. And here's the freezer door. And I think this video shows the freezer door actually opening. So this is what Kenneka would be doing. You know, right here. She'd be opening up the freezer door in the dark. So we're looking at something that looks really bright because the lights are on. The lights were not on when Kenneka was in there, so it was really dark. I mean, it might have been pitch black. I don't know if there's any sort of, you know, lights that are just on in there that make it really dim or something, but the lights were not on when she was in there. Okay, now this is where I'm going to pause it once. Now you see these icicles right here? So those would only be forming, and they would have been forming while the freezer was on and very cold in there. So that means liquid is in there. Okay, dripping down and freezing and making an icicle. Okay, so this is perhaps some of the water that might have got on Kenneka when she was in there, on her hair. And that might be why her hair is frizzy. It could also be condensation. Alright, so this is inside the freezer. And she was right there in that corner. Her head was. And this is what it would be like, but that light would not be on right there. It was completely dark. Okay, so that's about it. So hopefully you can watch it. You can watch it. It's a little bit easier to watch just in terms of it plays all the way through. And I guess until next time, I will talk to you later.